Hey everybody, it's Joe from greenlightsound.com, and today we've got another parallel processing tip courtesy of Michael Brauer, and this is what he calls his kick punch and snare punch. And this is really just a way to do exactly what it says, to add some punch, some transient energy to kick tracks and to snare tracks. So let's jump right into what he does for his kick punch parallel processing. The first tool that is in the arsenal for this one is the Neve 33609. Michael Brauer uses this UAD version, but there's a couple other versions from native processors out there if you want to use one of those. In terms of controls on the kick, we've got the limiter in with the attack set to fast. The threshold's about 8, and we've got the automatic 1 recovery. This is set with link controls and in mono, so this bottom panel is going to be exactly the same as the top here. The compressor's in. We've got our threshold at -20, our recovery or release time at 100 milliseconds. Gain set at about 8, ratio is 1.5 to 1. So both the limiter and the compressor are in on this one. The next tool in the chain, the next plugin in the chain is the Pultec here. I think Michael Brauer uses a TubeTech plugin, but this is pretty much the same thing. And what we've got with the Pultec is the low frequency set to 100 Hertz, a boost at around 2, attenuation around 1, so we create kind of a unique curve out of that. We've got our bandwidth set at 7 and boost 3, no attenuation on the upper frequencies here, and it's set to 3K. Next, we've got the Punchy's compressor that we've got in the chain here, and that is the DBX 160. This is the Waves version, which is also what Michael Brauer uses. We've got our threshold right above 0.3, compression right above 4, and our output gain pushed up just a little teeny bit. And that is all we have for processing here. So in terms of what this sounds like, let's just hear what the raw kick sounds like. And in this mix, this kick is supposed to be sort of a lo-fi, grungy, almost dull sounding kick. It sounds like this without the parallel process. Then if I bring up the kick punch track and bring the kick itself down, this is just the parallel process right here. And you can hear the punchiness it adds to it. So I'm going to bring the kick sub back up, bring this fader down for the kick punch, and blend that parallel process in as it plays. Definitely add some punchiness to it. I'll play them back to back with and without, and I'll try to level match. And that's it. Really easy way to blend in that parallel process. You can make it as subtle or as obvious as you want. Just you can hear that little bit of punchiness coming through the kick part. It's a very similar process with the snare punch channel, just a little bit more processing here. On the snare, we've got none of the limiter side of things in for the Neve 33609, just the compressor side. So the control's right in the middle here. Our threshold set at -16, recovery at 100 milliseconds, gains at 8, ratios 2 to 1. Compressor, of course, is in, fast attack, and we are a mono compressor for this case for snare drum. That leads into the Pultec as well, just with different settings. Here, we're still set at 100 Hertz, but we've got our boost and our attenuation just above 1 each. Bandwidth is really broad, set to 10, and the high frequency boost just above 1, attenuation just above 4. The attenuation's at 10K though, and the boost is at 5K. Moving along to another DBX 160, and this one, the threshold's about the same place, set right above 0.3, compression right around 2, and a little bit of boost to the output gain. And the one new processor that's added for snare drum is the Black Box Analog Design HG2 for some saturation distortion on here. Michael Brauer has the saturation set here with the alternate tube in, though it's not in most of the time, it's brought out. Pentode setting here, triode setting there. A little bit of air is added to bring some of that top end back in and pushing the output just a little bit. When we hear the snare part all by itself, this is the sound we get without the parallel process in. And then the parallel process all by itself sounds like this. You can really hear that punchiness there. Bring the main snare part back up and blend the parallel channel in as it plays. And I'll toggle it on back and forth, trying to level match. Here's without. So really just easy ways to add that punchiness to your drum tracks, your kick and your snare track, and another tip courtesy of Michael Brauer. If you have any comments or questions, let me know down in that comment section. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, so we can keep you in the loop as to what's coming up next, and I'll see you in the next one.